Oh boy, culés, this is a big one. Football Club Barcelona take on Atletico Madrid after losing the first leg at Metropolitano 4-0. Is the tie over, or can Barcelona actually come back? Well, the question is really simple because the answer is either yes, they can, or no, they can't, and we will find out roughly in 24 hours time because I'm making this preview one day before the match actually begins. I wanted to make the preview quicker and faster, maybe a week back, but actually there were many news such as Frankie de Jong getting injured, and if I were to make that video quite some time ago, I would have included Frankie in the 11s, and also the recent news actually came out that Robert Lewandowski will not be available for the game. So probably it was the right decision to wait and make this video just before the match begins. So today I will tell you guys about the latest news, about the lineup I expect Hansi Flick to go with, the lineup I would personally go with, then also I will give you the third lineup, which will be the all-out attacking one, where every single player is attacking and it does not make sense to a degree that it almost makes sense and actually could work. And then lastly, I will also give you guys my prediction on the final result of the match. Let me first talk about the latest news just before the game. As you can see, guys, there are quite some news ahead of the game. First things first, Lewandowski is out for this game with an injury. And actually, it is bigger than you would think because if you know how Hansi Flick operates, he does like using Lewandowski in big games, as we saw in Clásico and in Cup final against Real Madrid. Ferran Torres usually started games in the league, whereas Lewandowski was his substitute. But that game he did start, and he has this habit of scoring big goals when it matters because of his experience, composure, and excellence. Lewandowski is one of the most experienced strikers in Europe, and you cannot take it away from him. And unfortunately, he will be missing that game. Next news I want to talk about is the fact that Pedri is set to start against Atletico Madrid, and he won't be playing 90 minutes. So he will start, but most probably he will not play 90 minutes. And it also says it will all depend on how the game is going. So I'm guessing if at the halftime we are losing and Atletico are somehow winning and it is 5-0 on aggregate, I do think Pedri could be taken off at halftime. But if Barcelona score two, maybe three goals in the first half and we are in the game, I do think Pedri will stay on the pitch until 78th, 75th minute. And then finally, there was a report from Atletico Universe, from pretty reliable journalist, that 11 in training ahead of Barcelona's game was Musso and goal, a back four of Llorente, Pubil, Hanchko, Ruggeri, Juliano Simeone, Koke, Mendoza, Lukman, Griezmann, and Alvarez. And actually, I really like this team as a Barcelona fan because I don't see Sotlot, I see Griezmann, and overall, when you look at it, it is set up to defend. You have two blocks of four, 4-4-2. You have two decently big center backs. One of them is actually a right back converted to center back, young, exciting player. Another one is also a left back converted to center back. Then you have a left back and then you have a midfielder. So interesting lineup, but I think it can work. Then you have Koke's experience in midfield. You have young Mendoza, who has not been good. I really liked him whenever I watched him in La Liga, but he made move to Atletico Madrid and he has declined. So this could be a weakness for Atletico if he starts. Then you have Juliano Simeone, extremely good footballer, always running, doing great things. And then you have Lukman, such a good signing, has had some great games. Also against Barcelona, he scored. So brilliant player. And then in attack, you have Alvarez finally picking up the pace and form, and you have experience of Griezmann. Weakness also could be in goal because Musso is starting and not Jan Oblak. So as you can see, this is a relatively strong side, but it is set up to defend. So I do think we can expect from tomorrow's game that Atletico Madrid will park the bus and try to maintain the 4 goal advantage, and they won't panic if they concede 1 or 2 goals. I do think it will be just fine for Simeone, and he will also go into the game with that kind of thought that fair enough, we can lose 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1 on the night, but it does not matter because we have such a big advantage on aggregate. So overall, what can I say about their lineup? It is simple. They will set up to defend. And now let me talk about the lineup I expect Hansi Flick to use. Indeed, guys, this is the lineup I expect Hansi Flick to go with. I don't think he will go with Juan Garcia in goal, João Cancelo as a left back because there were many reports saying that he will start over Balde, and I do trust those reports, so I think he will start. In defense, we'll have Cubarsí and Araujo, and right back will be Jules Koundé. Three midfielders will be Pedri, Bernal, and Fermin Lopez. Left winger will be Rafinha, right winger will be Lamine Yamal, and Ferran Torres will be the lone striker. And tactically, it will be roughly looking like this 4-2-3-1 shape with Rafinha tucked inside, João Cancelo overlapping and almost making back three with two deep lying midfielders, and then attacking almost five with these five. Fermin just operating in this pocket in this area, Lamine Yamal holding his width and also at times coming inside, Ferran Torres being the box striker, Rafinha making runs everywhere, making diagonal runs, Pedri trying to find passes to Rafinha, and João Cancelo holding the width on this side, cutting inside and crossing with his right foot. Overall, I like 10 out of 11 players for this game, and I do expect Hansi Flick to go with this team, but I can say it right now. If I see Ferran Torres starting tomorrow and it is 9 p.m. my time and Barcelona announced the lineup and I see number 7 Ferran Torres, I will watch the game because I'm excited and it is what culés do. Because ever since 2019, I have watched every single Barcelona game except 3 games for various reasons, and I have been supporting this team ever since 2015. So it has been 11 years, and I will keep supporting this team because loyalty that I have for this team is too important for me, and I will watch the game. But if I see Ferran Torres start this game, God forbid, comeback is almost inevitably impossible. So I do think it will happen, and it is delusion to expect the inevitable, but it will happen. It will happen. Unfortunately, I do think we will see Ferran start. And to me, when Atleti set up in their low block in 4-4-2 to defend deep, Ferran will become highly useless. Not as if he is any useful overall, he is significantly out of form. So for me, it just does not make sense for us to start Ferran Torres. But I do think it will happen. For the rest of the team, it is relatively simple. We will see Araujo because Eric Garcia is suspended. He will not be able to play the game. Cubarsí and Koundé, self-explanatory. You have João Cancelo. You could argue that you could go for Balde, but Balde is more defensively sound player, and you can't expect much of attacking output from him. So it makes sense to start João Cancelo in a game where you need a lot of goals. Then you have Pedri and Bernal. Pedri for control, and I do expect actually Pedri to be the deepest midfielder at times and Bernal pushing in the box because Bernal offers size and actually quality to score, and I would not be surprised if Bernal scores tomorrow. I will make my first prediction right now. Marc Bernal will score tomorrow. This is the first prediction that I have. Then we will have Fermin Lopez just free roaming, running around everywhere. Lamine Yamal playing on the right side, keeping the width but also coming inside at times, and then Rafinha on the left side. And then Ferran Torres missing big chances. So this is the lineup I expect from Hansi Flick. Now let me talk about the lineup I would personally use. As you can see, guys, not many changes that I make at all. Actually, there's only one change that I would make. When it comes down to 11, I would replace Ferran Torres with Dani Olmo. And why would I do it? Well, because tactically it would be almost like 3-2-2-3 or even 3-2-3-2, because the way I see it is that Cubarsí, Araujo and Koundé can form a back three at times. Bajul will push on definitely, but at times it can be back three. Joao Cancelo can push on, as you can see here. Yamal can hold the width. You can have Bernal and Pedri here. And the main idea with this formation is the fact that Fermin and Olmo can both drop deeper and form a box midfield together with Pedri Bernal. So you have this boxing here and you gain a lot more control because Dani Olmo is good in tight spaces, in low blocks, breaking them down. And it is the reason why we signed him almost. He always has picked up this space and has been good weapon against these low blocks, but he hasn't taken the next step. But in my opinion, Dani Olmo, he has not been injured for a very long time, and I do think that tomorrow can be his big chance, big breakthrough in a game where you just know opponents will play the low block. Dani Olmo has to play the false nine role because you can have this box midfield in here. You can have Rafinha acting as this false winger, just running inside, making smart runs, and Cancelo pushed on. With Yamal having double team, triple team on him just to stop him. All of these players can make runs and he can find them. So for me, this formation and this lineup is very fluid and it can work very well against Atletico. So this is the team I would personally use to break down Atletico's low block. And now finally, I want to talk about alternative that does not make sense, but it is so hyper attacking that it almost does make sense. Pretty much the attacking four is as expected, minus Ferran, minus Olmo, and you just start with Marcus Rashford. And I would have considered starting Marcus Rashford if this game was to be 1-1 in favor of Barcelona, because then inevitably Atletico would have to attack and Rashford would be very useful in open spaces. But breaking down low block, especially Atletico's, it will be highly difficult for him, and I would not start him against Atletico at all. But the attacking four, as you can see in this hyper attacking side, all out alternative would be Rafinha, Fermin, Lamine, and Rashford. This attacking four is something I would love to see in Champions League when the game is open against teams like Bayern, PSG, if we were to get them on our tie, which we did not, but still, imagine going against a team that likes to play football and not park the bus or rely on set pieces and just having end-to-end stuff. Attack, 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 like tennis, like ping pong, like basketball, both teams attacking, and you have these four speed demons, Rashford, Rafinha, Fermin, Lamine. It's great. Then Pedri, Bernal, Cubarsí, Araujo, Juan Garcia. The spine of the team does not change. The only thing that changes is these two fullbacks. You have Balde offering his speed and Joao Cancelo offering his overlapping ability on the right side. But I don't think it will happen because Flick has not played Cancelo right back enough for it to happen. And I don't think Hansi Flick will experiment that much to put Lamine in the middle, and also it becomes impossible when you look at the fact that Araujo starts. Because I have seen a lot of alternatives on Twitter and on X that people are saying that yes, we should just go all out, we should just start Joao Cancelo Balde for attackers, etc. But you have to remember that Eric Garcia is out for the game, and despite the fact that Atletico will line up in low block, Araujo is so bad on the ball that it will not matter. And whenever they press Araujo even little bit, he will go back to Joan Garcia because he will not have enough passing options and he is not intelligent enough to find balls through the lines. So this option automatically just goes out of the window. If we were to have Eric Garcia available and not suspended, and we could play him here and Kubarsi here, then this lineup would make more sense. because you could push on Balde and João Cancelo, you could drop Bernal maybe a bit deeper, or if you're going hyper attacking, Pedri a bit deeper and Bernal up, and then you have these four creating chaos. So it would be an option, but I don't think how realistic it is, because this is something I would do if the result is 4-2 and we are going into minute 80. So it is something I would do. And indeed, guys, as you can see, I do predict that Barcelona will win the game 6-1. Call me delusional, call me stupid, call me ignorant, call me all kinds of names you want to call me, but I have seen many great games from this beautiful team. I have seen us play some of the best football. I have seen the comeback against Paris Saint-Germain. So I wouldn't put it past these players to win this game. We have Pedri, we have Juan Garcia, we have Kubarsi, we have Rafinha, we have Lamine Yamal, we have a lot of fans. They will be singing, cheering on. The atmosphere will be incredible. So this is the second prediction I am making. Football Club Barcelona will win the game 6-1. The first prediction, if you remember correctly, that I made was Marc Bernal to score a goal. And the second prediction I will be making is the fact that Football Club Barcelona will win the game 6-1 and the aggregate score will be 6-1. But I do think for it to happen, we have to see the lineup which contains Dani Olmo and not Ferran Torres. But I will be biased. It is almost impossible, but you know what I say, 1% fate and 99% chance. Right now, it is in the hands of players, of the fans, and of the Lord above. So I'm excited. I don't expect us to come back, but this is why we love football. Somewhere inside of here, I do have the smallest of hopes. And when I make this prediction, I rely on emotions I feel here and not the logic I can make sense of here. So, to encapsulate, Football Club Barcelona will win 6-1 because sometimes when you speak and say something so much, you speak it into existence. So again, I will say Barcelona will win against Atletico 6-1. Let me drink the water one final time and thank you guys for watching this video. It was Project Blaugrana with you today. Vamos, Visca Barça. We will win tomorrow. Vamos.